Hey guys, my name is Ethan, this is Carberra. Welcome to Zero to teach you how to build a Discord or pop-up for your server. Today we are talking about adding some utils and stuff, some quality of life improvements to the bot, if you will. So we're going to be adding a ping command, a stats command, and a shutdown command to our bots. So let's get started. We're going to do the ping command first. So we're going to come to the top and from time, import time. You might not necessarily need this depending on how you want to implement it. But I'll get to that in a second. So come down here, underneath or above, it doesn't really matter, and have spell command correctly for a start, and then we set the name to be ping, async def ping self ctx. So what you can do is you can just do await ctx dot send pong dswp, or you could do ping if you want, it doesn't matter, latency. So this is DSWP stands for Discord Web Service Protocol. So this DSWP latency is the amount of time it takes the bot to do a heartbeat to the server and receive a heartbeat acknowledgement back. So it is, in short, a ping. So we could do self, we actually need to make this a format string, and we need to not be bad at typing. Self.bot, do apologise, .latency times 1000, because it's not in milliseconds automatically for some reason. And then we can format it using the 1000 separator, because I like doing that, and then round it to the nearest number, or nearest whole number, and then milliseconds. So this will give you the bot's latency in milliseconds. So if you run the command, we'll see that the ping, there we go, we have to scroll down, is 104 milliseconds. This is about average for my internet. Obviously, if you're running a sort of VPS, it's going to be a lot lower, but we'll get to that in a second. So what you can do also, God, I don't know what happened to my voice there. You can actually do a simple calculation to determine how long it took the bot to send the actual message. So you can do this just manually by using start equals time. And then await ctx.send. I want to actually just move this line above, we don't need to create a new one. But we do need to actually set this to a message, and then end equals time, and then come down here, await message.edit content, oops, content equals, and then we will just grab this message here. And then we can set the, say, response time to be in brackets end minus start, and because this I believe would already be in milliseconds, I'm not too sure actually. We'll just do 1000. I don't think it is actually, so we'll do that. And then we'll apply the same formatting, and then we'll do milliseconds. So what that'll do is it will send the time, it will then edit the message, provided we actually did the commands right, to then say, oh, we didn't do the commands right. Invalid format specifier. What did we do wrong there? Oh, we didn't put a dot. We actually need to put a dot here to say that we want it to round it to 0 significant figures, and this should now actually work. There we go. So as you can see, the bot latency was 192 milliseconds, and our response time was, the bot latency was 107 milliseconds, and it took the bot 192 milliseconds to respond to the message. Now on a server, I've got S4 running on a server here. The server, obviously the ping is going to be a lot lower. 25 is about average. It can get as low as like 15 or something. But yeah, the latency is generally a lot lower on actual server. Response time 129. 107 is pretty good. I've seen bots in this particular server, or like bots that people have owned, that have every now and then just hit like thousands like of milliseconds. It's kind of funny, but so long as it's fast enough, like anything under about, I don't know, 300 or 400 is probably gonna be okay. If it's over that, you probably want to get that sorted. If you are thinking of hosting the bot yourself, which I would not recommend. We're now going to do a shutdown command, because that's the next simplest one. And we're just going to throw that here because it's easier. Command. I was going to do a stats command first, but you know what? We will actually do the stats command first. Keep some sense of meaningful order. So we're going to do bot stats. One thing about this command, you may be tempted to call it bot info, like this. That will cause an error. I don't quite know why, because it doesn't appear that it's an error about the function already being taken. Or maybe that is what it's trying to say, I don't know. But if that is what it's trying to say, it's not particularly clear. So yeah, you just can't have that. I don't really know why. And we're going to be doing some other stuff. So if you watched my PSUtil video from quite a while ago now, you'll recognise roughly what we're going to do here. But we are going to make some small changes. So let me quickly grab a template that I have just so I'm not faffing around the whole time. Okay, so I've got a template up. Since I actually did that PSUtil video, we have found a more efficient and optimal way of actually getting the stats. So we need to come up to the top, and we need to, from PSUtil, import process and virtual memory. These are the two we're going to need. Actually, we need to do a few more imports. Let me just go up to the top and see which ones. So we need to also, from platform, whoops, import Python version, and then from Discord, I'll do it on a separate line. From Discord, import version as Discord version, just kind of clear it up a bit. And then is there anything else? I'm not sure. I don't think so. Okay, I think that's all the imports we have. So we're gonna start off by, actually no, that's not all the imports we need. We need to go up here and we need to import embed, because we're gonna make this a pretty little embed. Or in the words of Bob Ross, a happy little embed. So we're gonna set embed equals embed. We're gonna have the title, not as a string, title as bot stats, I don't know. Description we don't want, color equals, I don't know, we could do self.bot.user. We'll just do ctx.author.color. I can't be asked to do all the faffing around with getting the bot's color again. And then you can have a thumbnail. Thumbnail equals self.bot.user.avatar URL. And then of course we need our timestamp, which equals date time, which we haven't imported because of course we haven't. UTC now. Now I did, to address, I might as well address this now. Perhaps I should have addressed it before, or maybe I did, I don't know, but I'll address this now. I did actually get a comment on my most recent video as I'm recording this, with someone asking why I didn't code like an embed constructor, or if it would be possible to, well, you asked specifically why I didn't code one. And yes, it is possible to have a constructor where you don't have to pass all this stuff in. I just wanted to do it like this because it's more concrete for people that just watch this video, or like it's better for newcomers to not have like all these weird utils that they may or may not understand. So it just makes it easy for people, but of course it is entirely possible to build an embed constructor. Okay, so before we move on, I've realized that we actually need to import time delta as well, because I am too good for this and I forget stuff all the time. So now we're going to actually define our stuff. So we're going to have our fields here for a second, because I want to actually say what we're doing, or say what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be having the bot version, and we're just going to set these up for now. We're going to have the Python version, the discord.py, discord.py version, yes, that is cased correctly. We're going to have the uptime. We're going to have the CPU time. We're going to have the memory usage, and we're going to have the number of users. Of course, there are plenty of other things you could do, but that doesn't necessarily matter. So we're going to start with the things that don't require psutil. So we're going to do we're going to define the bot version as self.bot.version because we defined it through here, we pass it through here, and if I quickly just launch our bot object, you can see that when we created the bot, when we run the bot, sorry, we set the version here. So we have self.version. It is actually self.all-caps version in this case. Big lols. The Python version, we already have that installed, however that is actually a function, or I think it's just a function actually. And Discord version, we have Discord version for that. And then users we can actually do on the fly as well, because all we need to do is do self.bot.guild.membercount. And if you want the 1,000 separator like I always do, you want to do this, and then baboom, it's just got to get converted to a string anyway. You might as well do it yourself. So now we do the stuff we couldn't do before, like the uptime, CPU usage, and the memory usage. So we are going to come a little bit higher up, and we're going to define a proc as a process. This is the current process, and then we're going to do with proc.oneshot. Now, in all fairness, I'm not 100% sure why it's called one shot. If someone does know, let me know. But this is essentially how you're able to get the information. So we can define uptime as time delta. This is why we need the time delta. Seconds equals time minus proc dot, I think it's create time. Let me just double check. It is, and that's a function. Then we have our CPU time, which again is another time delta. Oh, have I defined it wrong up the top? I might have done, because I'm pretty sure I used the autocorrect for that. I did define it incorrectly up the top. It's time delta, not tim delta. We don't need information about tim. And then have a number of seconds. Sorry for delays. I'm just trying to find stuff in my template so I don't mess anything up. Proc.cpu times dot. Oh, actually, so this CPU we're setting as proc.cpu times because we need to access this twice. That'd be .system plus CPU.user. So this combines the CPU, the system CPU time and the user CPU time. We'd find CPU as proc CPU time, so we just don't have to get that twice. It just makes it marginally more efficient. Now for the memory uses, we're actually going to do a little bit of a combination. We're going to have 3 different attributes defined in our memory usage. So we're going to have mem total, and we're going to have mem of total, and then we're going to have mem usage. Now mem total is the amount of memory available on the actual computer you're running on. So this is literally just virtual memory dot total, and then because we want to convert it into memory bits, we do divided by 1024 to the power of 2. Or you convert it into gigabits by doing it 3, or if you want it in kilobits, do it 1. It's specifically megabits. Megabytes. I've been saying bits when it's actually byte. It's a difficult word to say. I don't know why I chose it, but it's not megabytes. It is megabytes, which are slightly different. If you don't know the difference, then Google it. It's essentially what a megabyte now is what a megabyte used to be like 10 years ago. It's really complicated. So you can do for mem of total, you just do proc.memory percent, and this will give you the percentage of the total memory that your process is using. And then the mem usage is simply mem total times mem of total divided by 100. And this will give you the amount of memory that the bot is using in megabits once again. So we can come down here into our uptime stuff. We can just define this as uptime. I'm pretty sure we could just define this as CPU time. And the memory usage we define a little bit different. So we do need a string, and we need to pass in 3 attributes. So first, second, and then third %. So this last one is the %. So we're going to be passing mem of total in here. So this will tell you how much percentage, the percentage of the memory it's using. Mem total. So this is the amount of. You could do 1000 separator, and I'm going to round this to no significant figures because it's generally quite a large number and it's less important. And we're going to have mem usage here. Again, 1000 separator. Realistically, you won't need it for a while. And we're going to have 3 significant figures. Well, I'm going to have. You can choose however many you want. So what this is going to say is the amount of memory the bot is using out of the total amount and what percentage that is. And then we're going to put all in our fields. And then, so we do for name value, same as we've done a million times, inline in fields, it's just fields in it, embed.add field, name equals name, value equals value, inline equals inline. And of course, because we have forgotten to do this every now and then, we actually have to send the embed. So embed equals embed, and this should give us our bot statistics. So if we launch that, we'll get an error. Fantastic. Oh, apparently bot status isn't anything you could do either. Okay, so this is the error you get if you try and do bot load. I guess if it starts with bot underscore, that's what causes it. Interesting. Oh yeah, the commands or listeners must not start with cog or bot. I'm actually dumb. I don't know how I don't know how I just noticed that was the problem. Stats. So we get the stats. Oh god, it looks disgusting. But oh, we didn't actually do any rounding on the percentage, did we? So again, no, we don't really. That's separate. Naught. Significant figures. I don't know how it even got to that many. See if it looks a little bit less disgusting now. Okay, so we've cleaned up a bit. It's not exactly ideal. You can fiddle around with the order of everything. As you can see, we have a bot version which is 0.0.31. A Python version we're running 3.8.0. Discord.py version 1.3.3, although 1.3.4 came out today, actually, as of recording. Uptime of 5 seconds. CPU time of less than a second. Our memory usage is 45.703 out of 16,626 megabits. I kind of forgot to put the unit there, which is 0%. And the users, the bot currently has 25 users in its cache. I'm going to quickly go and add this here. So if you're doing the 1024 times 2 thing, you'll put that. If you do times 3, put that. I think I'm not actually sure. I know there is like a maybe bit, but I don't actually know what. I think it's just like a mib like this. Oh no, it's confusing. We want to do a maybe byte, and that is our stats. So we're now going to go on to the final command of the video and the series. Obviously, I'm going to do some more for the requests and stuff, but of the main series, this is our final command, and we're going to do an async def shutdown self and then context. So we can do await ctx.send shutting down, and then we can do, have we imported db? I don't think we have. Nope, we haven't. So from .db import db, I want to do a db commit, so we want to commit db, then we want to self.bot.scheduler.shutdown, and then await self.bot.log out. You can either do a log out or a close here. I'm going to do a log out and hope I'm not getting the error that I did with a different bot. I don't know, it seems to be, it's kind of confusing as to whether or not it works or not. Some sort of weird conflict between Oh yeah. Okay, no, we're not going to get the error. Okay, so I don't know what's causing it on my other bot, but this works on this. I was getting an issue with it was conflicting with the scheduler, or it was trying to do the function twice. I think if you do like a Control C and activate the close, because Discord.py does have a method for close. If I'm on Sublime REPL right now, so that I'm pretty sure doesn't actually trigger. But if you do a Control C, there is actually something in Discord.py that takes that and actually closes the connection to Discord. You can override that, and I think if you do a logout call inside that override, it just breaks everything. I don't really know why, but it seems kind of odd. But yeah, that is a shutdown command that commits to the database, shuts down the scheduler, and shuts the bot down. As you can see, one other note I would like to do. Oh, it's actually doing it immediately now. Sometimes if you do it too quick after starting up, it won't go offline immediately like it did now. This is kind of what it's supposed to do, where it goes offline immediately, but if you do it too quick, sometimes it doesn't do that. Even if it hasn't done that, it has still worked as intended. If the REPL ends up closing, then it's worked as intended. As you can see, we have our bot disconnected thing there. So that actually brings us to the end of the video. If you like the video, then say hello down below. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below as well, or you can join the Discord using the link in the description. If you really like the video, and consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads. If you really like the video, and consider supporting me on Patreon. Of course you don't have to, but a really cool thing of you to do. With that in mind, I would like to thank my super patrons Adam J, Jackster and Sashank, and I will see you for future videos and future series going forward.